One man's trash is another man's art. I don't know. Hey guys, it's Karin. Welcome back to Little Art Talks. For today's 5 artists in 5 minutes, let's talk about 5 artists who make art with trash. Anatsui is a Ghanaian sculptor who was active for most of his career in Nigeria. He is well known for his large-scale sculptures composed of thousands of folded and crumpled pieces of metal, sourced from alcohol recycling stations and bound together with copper wire. His use of these materials reflect his interest in reuse, transformation, and an intrinsic desire to connect to his continent while transcending the limitations of place. His work can interrogate the history of colonialism and draw connections between consumption, waste, and the environment. But at the core is his unique formal language, which distinguishes his practice. These works, which can be massive in scale, are both luminous and weighty, meticulously fabricated yet malleable. He leaves the installations open and encourages the work to take a different form every time they are installed. Roberta Smith wrote, "The works evoke lace, but also chainmail, quilts, but also animal hides, garments, but also mosaic, not to mention the rich ceremonial cloths of numerous cultures. Their drapes and folds have a voluminous sculptural presence, but also an undeniably glamorous bravado." Suzy Ganch is an American artist. A contemporary craft-based artist who also makes jewelry, the artist explores the increasingly blurred boundaries between art, craft, and design. Her work often repurposes materials such as plastic utensils and coffee lids en masse, raising conversations about the environment, consumption, beauty, and adornment. Noble and Sue Webster are 2 British artists who work as a collaborative duo and are associated with the post-Young British Artist generation of artists. Their shadow sculptures incorporate materials such as household rubbish, scrap metal, and taxidermy animals. When light is directed from a specific point, the assemblages are transformed into highly accurate shadow profiles of the artists. Dirty White Trash with Goals was sculpted out of 6 months' worth of the artist's trash, the remains of everything they needed to survive during the time it took to make this work. When a single light illuminates the pile of trash, the resulting shadow creates a portrait that contrasts sharply with the materials used to create it. The artists leaning against each other, back to back, enjoying a glass of wine and a cigarette. Noah Purifoy was an African-American visual artist and sculptor. In the months after the Watts Riots Rebellion of August 1965, Purifoy and Judson Powell organized the exhibition 66 Signs of Neon, composed of works by 6 artists made from salvaged materials as a way to interpret the August event. For 20 years following the rebellion, Purifoy dedicated himself to the found object and to using art as a tool for social change. In the late 1980s, Purifoy moved to the Mojave Desert, and over the last 15 years of his life, built what is now the Noah Purifoy Outdoor Sculpture Museum. Located on 10 acres of open land near the town of Joshua Tree, California, the museum contains over 100 works of art, including large-scale assemblages, environmental sculptures, and installation art created by the artist between 1989 and 2004. Paul Chan is an American artist. His single-channel videos, projections, animations, and multimedia projects often address topics including, but not limited to, geopolitics, globalization, and their responding political climates, war documentation, violence, deviance, and pornography, as well as language and new media. My Birds, Trash, The Future is a 17-minute 2-channel animation featuring characters based on murder victims Pier Paolo Pasolini and Biggie Smalls, adrift in a bleak landscape populated by a lone tree, birds from the biblical book of Leviticus, hunters and paparazzi, and yellow Hummers. The animation was projected on both sides of a 14-foot-long screen. The audio for the animation was broadcast from the muzzle of a toy gun that required visitors to lift it to one of their ears in order to hear it. The animation was accompanied by charcoal drawings and prints of birds. That's it for this week's 5 artists in 5 minutes. Of course, these are not the only 5 or the top 5. There's tons more out there, so be sure to leave your favorites and a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps this channel out, and we come out with these 5 artists in 5 minutes every single Sunday. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.